Uganda is currently a net importer of petroleum products, where more than 90% of the products are imported through the port of Mombasa in Kenya and the rest through the port of Dar es Salaam in Tanzania. The importation is done independently by the licensed Uganda oil marketing companies through the importation structures in Kenya and Tanzania. In efforts to change the trajectory, the Minister for Energy and Mineral Development, Ruth Nankabirwa, tabled the Petroleum Supply Amendment Bill, among other provisions. The bill empowers the Ministry of Energy and Mineral Development to carry out the overall responsibility of regulating the importation of petroleum products into Uganda. Sharon Oyat says this was one of the visions revealed by Obote in 1970.
And then President of the Republic of Uganda launched the infamous Nachivubo pronouncements, and one of the key issues was government to nationalize all oil and petroleum companies operating in Uganda and to be directly in charge of all oil and petroleum imports in the country. This was a great grand vision to the nation, consistent with the spirit of the UPC constitution that promotes a mixed economy.
On his X handle, the president revealed the cheap bulk and refinery suppliers have been contracted to eliminate the expensive middlemen. Arach applauds the government on this, arguing that it will give the country independence and sovereignty, which was the prior goal of the Obote government.
Who brought and said, no, there are some sensitive entities in the economy that should or must be controlled by government, and one of those was the oil and the petroleum industries or companies, which helped to streamline and to harmonize to ensure that the cost of fuel and petrol are subsidized by government. But when the NRM came into power, most of these entities were privatized, and now that government is waking up, some of these institutions that should help to streamline these were all privatized, which will make it a bit of a challenge.
However, she says this requires a capability to deliver at the national level, thus asking the Ministry of Finance and the Ministry of Energy to be ready to steer up the country.
With Uganda Oil Company have to be more focused and ready to steer the country forward. This is a real challenge. As I said, when the NRM government came, most of these institutions were privatized. They were either privatized or sold off, or even abolished. Now for government to come out and say we need to buy in bulk oil, which means we have to reactivate some of these structures, to reactivate some of these institutions to be able to monitor and achieve the goals that the president has indicated. It is a good initiative, it is a good plan, which will help in reducing the price of oil and petroleum and thereafter the cost of living.
Uganda has occasionally been exposed to supply vulnerabilities where the Ugandan oil marketing companies are considered secondary. Whenever there are supply disruption, these vulnerabilities have posed additional challenges, resulting in Uganda receiving relatively costly products and ultimately impacting the retail pumps prices.